Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 2023 Maricopa Open presented by Infinite Discs. We're at the Copper Sky Disc Golf Course located in Maricopa, Arizona. And part of our first round feature card, we'll have Adam Hammes along with Connor Rock, San Diego's own Clint Calvin, and rounding out the card, a recent mover to Arizona transplant, that's Max Nichols. This is the round one front nine action, and we're excited to bring it to you. Adam Hammes will go first to kick things off. You see the pole on the left side, as long as the tree on the right side, both of those being Mandos, so you must navigate through those. Up the middle and inbounds easily. And for not having a ton of trees on this particular course, this is one way that you're forcing a little bit of technicality here on this very first hole.
Nice, Clint. Thank you.
Feature a lefty today in Max Nichols. That'll give him a long look for birdie. Oh, and from long range, no problem for Connor Rock to get things started. Connor comes into the event with a 10-10 rating. That just barely stays on the edge. Anything completely surrounded or past that area is actually out of bounds, and that is exactly what just happened there. That skips and goes deep. Adam comes into the event with a 10-30 rating. That is the second highest of all competitors. And he's going to open with a birdie. So Clint will bring it in the 1 meter. He'll have the OB stroke to add to his scorecard, so he's going to open with a bogey. And Max can also bring it in 1 meter. However, he was not out of bounds, but you can still elect to take up to that 1 meter relief and bring it back in bounds. Hi, Adam. Max comes in with a 981 rating. Clint, 1006. Here's Hammes, T of 2. And that is hung out too far wide right, so that's going to be out of bounds for Hammes. And almost the exact same. Max Nichols steps up. OB both left and right. Oh, yes. Nichols with the skip ace.
Wow.
Hangs it out wide left, gets the single skip, drops it in. We're going to take one more look at it. Just playing the lefty hyzer out over the out of bounds. And it skips. Backside corner pocket. Not much chain required there. Nice ace. Congratulations, Max Nichols. That'll quickly move him to 2 under.
Thank you.
And making the righty adjustment, we see Clint inbounds. So Adam will go to a drop zone. Makeable putt from there for bogey. and hanging it out over the tree, but equally as effective. Connor will have a look for bogey. This is about 25 feet. Adam will be just inside of that. So that'll very quickly bring both of them back to even par on the round. And the birdie brings Clint back to even par. So all those birdies and bogeys wash for the first three guys, and Max Nichols 2 under through 2 with the ace. We're going to head over to hole number 3, 403 feet. And a full flex, and that fights back, curls around, touches some out of bounds, but then comes back in. He was uncertain, but yes, that's going to be inbounds for Nichols. Very short birdie luck. And a skip that goes 2 straight is what Clint Kelvin is dealing with, and he is close enough to the basket that he should still have a good look to save the par from there. Adam might be a little tentative here after seeing 2 of the first shots flirt with the OB. Not much wind to speak of here on a Friday afternoon. And an air ball from Hammis flirts with OB as well, but it does sit down. He's inbounds. Should have an easy comebacker for par. Still in circle 2, Connor Rock, but makes the putt.
From my perspective, I think I hit this bush and it shot me left, so I was thinking that's good with you guys.
And good call from Clint. Anytime you go out of bounds, make sure that you get a good confirmation from the rest of the group as to where you think you were last inbounds. Make sure everybody agrees. It'll come down to a group consensus, and you'll take it from there. Now, Clint misses the putt, leaves a little bit of work left here on the comeback as well, which has got to be frustrating. Certainly was in position to save the par, but now he's going to walk away with the bogey 4. And Max is going to keep it rolling. Picks up the birdie after the ace on 2. So he's 3 for 3 to get started here in round number 1. Adam now for par. A little bit of a slow start. We're going to head over to 4, which looks very different from what we've seen over the previous 3 holes. Well, 4 features, I don't know if rock garden's the word. I'm sure there's a term if you're from Arizona. Certainly a very rocky area. And that's right there in the direction of where the pin is. If you go deep right or left or beyond the basket, there is an out-of-bounds road that kind of curls around the basket. So this almost has a peninsula-type feel to it for the out-of-bounds. Hammis worried about going deep. And for having so many rocks out there, I don't feel like you see a ton of skips. And it's just a matter of what angle the disc comes down as to if it catches any kind of skip or not. Usually, I don't feel like it does here. Pretty much where it hits is where it stays most of the time on this hole. Connor with a birdie luck. Putting looks solid. No problem whatsoever. He goes to 2 under. And an outstretched Nichols doesn't get that one to drop.
This is technically out, Clint, but I can go if you want. Oh, sorry. I'm right in the middle of this bush. You guys cool guys mark at the roots? It's right in the middle. Yeah.
Again, getting confirmation from the rest of the card. You also heard him say that somebody else is actually out. And typically, of course, the person that is farthest away from the pin is supposed to go first. However, we have this thing in disc golf called flow of play. And if it just makes sense because someone's either in position or someone else is out of position, whatever the case might be, confirm with the rest of your group. And if they're good with it, then you're allowed to go, quote unquote, out of order. And you find that happening all the time. Always good to just double check. Some people are real sticklers about it and say, absolutely not. We need to stick within the order. But most people, I'd say 9.5 out of 10, are going to say, nope, that's fine. Just go ahead.
I feel like by how far right it is that it almost couldn't.
So Connor tries to go big, but misses the Mando. You must go to the left of the Mando pole. And if you miss it, you go immediately to the drop zone.
That definitely made it.
Yeah. I think so, yeah. You got the best angle.
Yeah.
It sets up a little bit easier for the lefty. We've seen different iterations of holes out here in this open space throughout the last few years. I know you've been watching some of the Maricopa Open footage. Often we've been starting the tournament out here at Copper Sky. And then as various construction and other things have been taking place, they've been able to maneuver, manipulate, come up with different ideas for how a few of these additional temp holes are played. Amos, a standstill forehand.
Sit down, oh boy.
Lash is in front of the basket. He'll still have a putt. Might be obstructed, though.
Or just crush it.
Clint worried about putting too much on it. So although Hamas finds himself inside the circle, you can see he's outstretched, awkward angle. Solid putt. Hamas will move to 2 under. And now for the first time also hearing and seeing a little bit of the wind. I wanted to dance around a little bit, but Clint gets it to drop. That's a birdie. He'll move to 1 under. Connor doing the best he can after the missed Mando. That'll be a par. Also a par for Max. As we head over to hole number 6, just 305 feet.
You're bad.
Oh, and cutting it 2 inside. Misses the double Mando. So he's going to go to a drop zone. Securing it right up the middle. No problem for Clint. Well, if that's short of the drop zone, at least he hasn't missed it. He should have no problem then obviously punching through, but certainly looks short. This also has a good looking line for what Max is stepping up to. Punches through the double Mando, gets it to fade off to the right. Good shot. So bogey likely in store here for Hamas. No problem jamming it home for Clint.
Just make it, right?
Just make it, right? That's it, man. No big deal. Make it. Max dealing with some headwind. When it was all said and done, this actually played as the second most difficult hole on the course, or tied, should I say, for the second most difficult hole on the course. Average .28 over par. This and hole number 18. Both averaging more than a quarter stroke over par. Trying to do his best to get an official lie in there. I don't think his legs are that long. I know I'd have problems with my little stubs. All right, we're a third of the way through the round. Distinguished Doodle, who's based out of Arizona. Make sure you reach out to them. Use the code DiscGolfGuy for 20% off your dog care products. All natural ingredients, all organic ingredients, in fact, and made right in Arizona. Clint inbounds. No problem. And this hole sets up great for a lefty, although too much on it for Max. But as you can see, a forehand coming, it just widens your landing zone so much more when you're able to take that angle to the pin, as opposed to maybe skipping it off the road, the OB on the right here, the pavement. Hanging out way wide. Oh, and a near perfect shot for Hamas. And you must land on the island here, or you go back to this drop zone. Regardless where your shot hit or where it went in or out of bounds, doesn't matter. If you don't land on the island, then you must go to the drop zone. And that's going to all but guarantee you the bogey or worse. Connor moves to 3 under. And after the pitch, we see Clint just tapping in for his par. And we're going to add some significant length to the next two holes, 712 and 625 feet, respectively, for holes 8 and 9. Connor pushing that right side. Big pull. The canal on the right side out of bounds. Also, the curb and beyond are out of bounds on the left side. The basket in line with the power lines down there. You do gain a little elevation here on the tee shot. Technically, you're throwing somewhat downhill in the opening throw. And that's going to be a great shot for Clint. And you're noticing the angle. There's a power box located directly behind the tee here. And not stable enough for Mac, so he's going to go out of bounds on the left side. Amos with a standstill. Does he have the power to get there? And it looks like it does. What a shot. Calvin draws it up perfectly. And all of the righties here are certainly taking advantage of the airspace off to that right-hand side. And from down beneath where the basket was, and kind of a blind shot, turns out to be a great approach there for Max, who's ready to be done with hole 8. Yeah, there are a couple easy tap-ins. And hole 8 wreaking havoc here on Max Nichols' scorecard. He's going to take a double bogey. It's going to be a 6.
Damn, that thing is sweet. Oh, one of the oldies. Yeah. It was in my collection, and I was like, I need to save a force. I gotta
Birdies for the rest of the card. We got one more hole left in the front 9. If you would like to support some of the work that I'm doing, there's a couple different ways to do it, but one of them is heading out to shop.thediscgolfguy.com. All sorts of random goodies out there, and we'll continue to expand the offerings in there. Here's Connor. And you see that push left side, no problem. Essentially the exact same rules as the previous hole, with the canal off on the right out of bounds. It says the canal, curb, and beyond are out of bounds. Throw from where it was last inbounds.
I'd like to thank Nate Dawes for making a great disc.
Little Nate Doss shout out in there. Some of his original Signature Series plastic. Wow.
Perfect.
Sense a little sarcasm there.
Never doubt.
What a shot by Clint. So close to disaster by almost hitting the pole. And this is a dangerous shot. He's going to take this out over the OB. And we saw how it didn't get stable enough during the previous hole. This time, not a problem. Safely inbounds. Guessing the park's going to get a little bit busier as the weekend rolls on. Here we're out on a Friday. Often soccer and other events going on. Very busy park out here at Copper Sky. Today, enjoy the calmness. And almost every year we come out here, we see different topography on holes 8 and 9. Sometimes they just look a little bit different depending on what the city's working on, depending on what's going on within the park and the surrounding areas. So it's almost as if these mounds and the obstacles always have a slightly different look year after year. Just adding to the challenge somewhat. The distances remain the same on the 2 holes, but the look and the feel of them can be varied up from year to year. That goes deep. Oh, and just off the cage. Max pulls that one up too high. And a solid birdie. And for being the 2 longest holes on the course in 8 and 9, hole 9 actually plays as the 4th easiest one out here. Averaged 3.85. And speaking of the field, 54 MPO competitors out here for this PDGA A-Tier. We'll take a look at scores as we're wrapping up everything here on 9. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, do all the YouTube things. Put a comment down there. We'll find something to give away. Usually it's beef jerky, thanks to our friends at Double G Jerky. But I appreciate you guys for watching. We got tons of action. We're going to have all 3 rounds here of the Maricopa Open, presented by Infinite Disc. Big shout out to Spicy Boy for helping make this happen. And we take a look at the scores to see that through 9, Barella off to a great start. Him and AJ Herb both sitting at 6 under. Marweed and Gossage both at 5. That's it from the front 9. We'll see you guys for the back 9 of round 1 coming right up. We'll see you there.